tonight's session, I would like to do no ego, no I. So the I, me. So removing the mention of I from our meditation. Now, when I say removing, I'm not saying it in a harsh way. So, for example, when that feeling of anxiety is cropping up, instead of saying, I am feeling anxious, we remove the I, we acknowledge how we are feeling, and we say, anxiety is here. The feeling of anxiety is here. The feeling of headache is here. An upsetting thought is here. So instead of saying, I am feeling down, rephrase it as the feeling of feeling down is here. And the reason why we are doing this is why we want to remove the I from the equation is simply because we are learning to disengage from this feeling that our thoughts, our emotions, our sensations, our moods, in total, it's about us. But actually, we are more than that. We are more than the sum of all this. Our thoughts are not us. Our thoughts are our thoughts, and we still acknowledge them, but we will, or as best as possible, or the invitation is to allow ourselves to just disengage from this I, from this self, from what some people may call it the ego. In all our practices, we can sit, we can stand, we can walk, and some of you may choose to stretch. Doing stretching while listening to this session is also fine. So the practice at your own pace, no rushing. The most important thing is to take care of yourself. Being intentional about, making that decision. I want to shift the posture. I want to drink some water, for example, with care and intention. So closing the eyes if you wish, or just keeping them open or softening the gaze. I'll usually close my eyes. And so coming to sit or stand, being aware of our choices, the choice that we're making, on how we want to proceed with this practice, the position that we want to assume. So being mindful and intentional about our choices. Now finding the breath. The breath is here. The breath coming in and the breath leaving. Noticing, yes, the air that comes in, maybe it's a bit cool, and the air leaves the nostrils, it's warmer. Noticing the gap between the in-breath and the out-breath. Noticing the breath as the breath. The breath is not me, the breath is just the breath. Now keeping the breath in awareness, dropping down to the body, feeling the body. This body, this vessel, this structure that sits on the chair or standing, lying down, stretching. This body, this vessel that holds thoughts, sensations, emotions, the organs. Noticing the body as it is, recognizing whatever emotions or sensations that may be arising in the body. The body is not me, the body is the body. merely the body. So as you are keeping the awareness on the breath and maybe noticing how the belly expands and contracts each time an in-breath is taken and the out-breath is released. So the abdomen is the abdomen and nothing more. Expanding, contracting, facilitating the breath. Then dropping down further, noticing the contact of the bum as you sit on the chair, as the body weighs on the chair. Noticing the support that the chair or the mat or the bed is giving you. Recognizing the weight of the body. Dropping down further, noticing, feeling the toes, feet, perhaps sensing the shape, the size of the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees. So the knee is the knee, it's not us. The calf is the calf, it's not us. The ankles, the feet are merely the ankles and the feet. Then acknowledging the arms, where you've placed the arms. The fingers. Maybe noticing for any tingling sensation or warm, or maybe no particular sensation, and that's fine. So the mind may start to travel, or is already traveling, thinking about this, thinking about that. And so, maybe just to remind that we are in the present moment. The mind is thinking, thoughts about supper, thoughts about what to do tomorrow. Maybe there are sensations in the body, pain in the stomach. So instead of saying, I am sleepy, reframing it as sleepiness is here, fatigue is here. Fatigue is a condition, sleepiness is a condition. It's not us. It's not me. It's merely a sensation, a thought, an emotion. Maybe there's this thought, I want to move. So reframing it, the thought is, to move. So acknowledging what is here, not pushing away, not subtracting, not adding, but merely being an observer, standing at the edge, looking in, watching the body like a vessel that contains thoughts, feelings. Maybe there are thoughts about when is this meditation going to end? How long more? So acknowledging that thought, a question had emerged. A question had emerged in the mind. How long more is the question? So watching that question that popped up in the mind, merely a question, merely a thought. It's not us, not me, not I. Simply just a question. Or maybe I feel very heavy and sleepy. So coming to the present moment, being aware that thought of sleepiness is here. That feeling of heaviness is here. But it is merely a feeling, a thought. And so just keeping the awareness on the breath, or choosing a part of the body that feels safe. The feeling of pleasantness is there. Feeling a sense of anchor or grounding. So each time some thoughts, random thoughts popping up in the mind, just noticing, acknowledging, and very firmly inviting the attention back to the breath, or to the chosen parts of the body, maybe the feet, hands, the stomach, the chest. And maybe there are some impulses to do something. Get up, drink water. Recognizing, noticing, acknowledging that impulse is there. With a sense of care and intention. And just framing it as, oh, that's an impulse to move. That's an impulse to do something. And now from noticing the various thoughts and emotions that are arising, we take the attention to around the breath, to being aware of the body as a whole, and then expanding further, paying attention, sensing the surrounding. There's an option maybe to notice the room temperature, sound of the TV from the next room, conversation, chatter. Now I'll read you this poem. It's called Liberation, in which I wrote it, and it's inspired by one of the suttas, Buddhism Sutta, and the writings of Dogen Zenji. So it's called Liberation, which is in line with the theme of today, removing the I from the equation. The body merely a vessel through birth, decay, death. Consciousness merely a non-thing, formless that fires love, lust, hate, grief, despair, pain. There it is to burn the delusions. See the vastness of the heart that fills the universe. Seeing the minds of 1,000 monks, seeking the way, not knowing, not clinging to an I, arriving at no return. There it is, liberation. So now taking the time, and when you're ready, opening the eyes, taking in the surrounding shapes, pattern, texture, things around you. And that's the end of tonight's practice. Feel free to drop in again on Wednesday, same link, same time. You don't have to re-register again on Eventbrite.